Hello everyone, my full name is Phạm Thị Tràn and I came from class K33 and now I'm a postgraduate student following the sectors English language teaching methodologies. And today I would like to present about my project proposals with the title The Effect of Praise Writings Outlining on Coherence in Topics-Based English Paragraphs Writings of 8th grade student at Thiệu Dương Lower Secondary School. And my project proposals is divided into 8 elements. The first is introduction. The second is a rationale. The third is a literature reviews. And number 4 is a research question. And the next is methodologies. And next is the overviews of the thesis. Another step is research schedule, and the last one, reference list. And to begin with, the instruction. In this session, I will emphasize some things here. The first, writing is a key, yes, challenging skill in EFL learnings. And the next, I refer to paragraph writing's plays a foundational role at the lower secondary school level. And next, I mentioned that coherence is a crucial component of effective paragraph writings. From that, I give out some of the problems among 8th grade students at Thiệu Dương Lower Secondary School. The first is weak organization. The second is lack of unities. And the third is illogical idea progression. From those, I want to emphasize proposed instructional focus pre-writing outlines. And now I will move on to the next element, and it is a rationale. In this session, I want to emphasize something here. The first is pedagogical rationale. Writing instruction often prioritize grammar over discourse organization. And number 2, I refer to theoretical rationale. And as you know, process-oriented writing emphasizes planning as essential for coherence. And the last one, it is the practical gaps. To mention here, I focus on lining is effective but underused in lower secondary school, especially in EFL classroom in Vietnam. And the next, it is a contribution, improving teaching practice and instructional decisions making. And indispensable element in my project proposal is a literature review. In this part, I will give some important things here. The first is key theoretical foundation. More details is writing as a process, and the concept occurrence in paragraph writings. Following that, I point out previous studies on brief writing strategies, especially outlinings. And the next, I'll synthesize findings rather than listing stories, and I also identified gaps. They are limited paragraph level focus and few action research studies in lower secondary school EFL context. And the next element I want to emphasize in my project's proposal is research question to narrow down the scope of the studies. I want to focus on three following questions. The first is what coherence difficulty to 8th grade student experience before the intervention. Number two, how did the use of brief writings outline affect paragraph coherence? And number three, what are student perceptions of using outlines in writing lesson? And you remember that question are focused, measurables, and suitable for action research. And actually, as for me, methodologies is the most difficult section in my proposal. In this session, I want to focus on research design, or in other words, I can call it action research. And the next, research context and participant. It is 8th grade student at Tilson Lower Secondary School, and data collection instrument here is pretest and post-test, analytics writing rubric, and the next is classroom observation, and the last thing is a student's questionnaire. And here I use the mixed method, data analysis, quantitatives and qualitatives. To make up clearly the structure of my project proposal, I move on to the overviews of the thesis. My project's proposal include six chapters. The first is chapter 1 as an introduction, chapter 2 is a literature review, and chapter 3 methodologies, and chapter 4 is finding, and chapter 5 is a discussion, and chapter 6 is a conclusion. And each chapter addresses a specific stage of the research process. And in this section, it provides a clear roadmap for the studies. To carry out the above element, I continue to keep the next element as a research schedule. Main research stages in my formalized project proposal is pre-intervention, intervention, and post-intervention. And you remember that a realistic timelines aligned with the school calendar, and you have to ensure feasibilities within the available instructional times. And the last but not least, reference list. It is a reference list. It includes all sources cited in the proposal. This part is formatted consistently according to APA 7 and is emphasized on peer-reviewed articles and academic books. You remember that references focus on joint writing, coherence, and pre-writing strategies. And I have just presented about the structure of my project proposal. And thank you so much for the listening. Bye bye.